If you want to add some more excitement to your minor pentatonic scale, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to show you some rock licks with a little bit of a twist. I'm going to call them twisted blues licks. So these licks are really fun to play, but the main thing to take from it is the intervals that we're adding to the minor pentatonic scale to give it that twist. So I encourage you to take those intervals and those ideas into your own licks that you already know. Let's jump into the first lick. The tab to these licks are available on my Patreon page, as well as the backing track that I played to, as well as the isolated licks themselves with the tab on screen. So you can check that out. Links in the description if you want to subscribe. So the first lick is kind of based loosely off of a 3-note per string pentatonic pattern. I'll give you that for free here. So you can have some fun with that. I only take the top 2 strings and I actually alter one of the notes to make it the blues note. And that's our first note that we're going to start on. So let's get into it. So we've got the 11th fret on the B string, the blues note, going to the perfect 5th, then the flat 7, and then we're going to hit the flat 7 again, but on the E string. That's the beauty of that 3-note per string pattern. You have every 3rd note that repeats. It's quite an interesting sound. So far we've got this. And then we're going to reach up to the minor 3rd, then go back to the flat 7. Here we are. And then we're going to go root note, 3rd, back to the flat 7 now. Right. And then we're going to go down the blues scale. We're going to go to the flat 7, the 5th, and then the flat 5. Now if you take anything from this, just that position there is quite interesting. So hopefully it opens up your ears or your hands or eyes or whatever to some new ideas. So we're going to go, and then we're going to descend down to the perfect 4th, minor 3rd, and we're going to add in the major 9, which I think sounds cool. So there's another interval that we're adding other than the blues note. Then we go to the root note, and we're going to go to the major 6. This is where I think the voodoo blues scale comes into play. Maybe that's the voodoo note, I don't know. Then we're going to hit the perfect 5th, and then the minor 3rd. So some nice wide leaps there, right? There's that sort of 3-note per string idea, skipping that middle one. So far we've got this. I love that. I think that sounds really cool. And then to finish it off, we're going to go root note, major 7, and then flat 7. So that's what we would call a chromatic passing note. So in this whole thing, adding onto the minor pentatonic scale, I've given you the blues note, the major 9, the major 6, and the major 7th there as well. Now I am doing a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs. Make it your own. I'm not really strict on the picking. You might want to pick everything. Or you might want to do hammer-ons and pull-offs. Let's move on to the next lick. So this is really based around another 3-note per string pattern from the first position. This is what it looks like. So again, every 3rd note repeats, kind of a cool sound. Now let's jump into the lick. It's sort of a similar vibe to the first lick, starting on the 5th though. Flat 7, root note. Then we're going to jump to the root note. So there's that repeated note. Cool idea, right? Then we jump to the, perfect 4th. Then back to the root note. And then the minor 3rd. And this is where we go to the major 3rd. That's the first addition. And then to the perfect 4th. And then we're going to descend to the major 3rd. Then the minor 3rd. So far we've got this. Root note. Cool idea in itself. Then we're going to hit the major 7, another addition, the flat 7, the 5th, That's on the B string. So far we've got this. Blues note, perfect fourth, minor third, and then I think we're just going to descend the minor pentatonic scale and then hit the octave on the D string. So this is the whole lick. So a couple of additions to the minor pentatonic scale just to give it that little twist. Now I do have a bunch of variations on these licks in addition to the actual licks tabbed out and played through on my Patreon page if you want to subscribe. Let's jump into the third lick. This one's a bit of a favorite of mine. It's not so much of a 3-note per string idea, but it is in that first position of the pentatonic scale that I love. This is what it sounds like. Descend down from the minor third to the second, to the root note, to the flat 7, then hit the major second, root note, and this is where the twist comes in. We're going to go major 7, chromatic down to the flat 7, the 6, then the 5th. That's obviously not chromatic, the last 2 notes. So far we've got this. Gonna go to the flat 5, the perfect fourth, minor third, and then the root note. Now you could finish it there if you wanted to. Cool idea, right? Let's continue on. So after that, we're gonna hit the perfect fourth. Now I do that with separate fingers, I think. Yeah, for me that works. So the fourth, minor third, then the root note, major 7, flat 7. It's that little chromatic passing thing that we did in the other lick. And then it works out to be the same frets on the A string, but we're doing the 5th, flat 5, and then the perfect 4th. Nice idea in itself. So far we've got this. Pretty cool, right? And then we're just going to hit the minor third, root note, and then go to the root note on the octave above. Here it is. So as I said before, take those intervallic ideas with the major 9, the major 6, and the major 7th as a passing chromatic note and build them into your own licks and lines. It's really, really fun to give that minor pentatonic thing a twist. Guys like, Richie Blackmore do that all the time. There's a solo in that song Burn by Deep Purple, which I'm going to check out at some point, that has that kind of stuff in there. It's really, really cool. Backings and tabs on my Patreon. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.